Yo, what is good? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm bringing you all the performance review on the Giannis Immortality 3. Before we get started, if y'all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. And please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Giannis Immortality features like this line traction pattern, and it's kind of radial, but kind of not, just because, you know, instead of circles, it's like this ellipse pattern. And that kind of, you know, occurs like throughout the entire shoe, but I would just kind of call this like a line traction pattern, honestly. And yeah, I mean, the traction on this shoe is really, really good. Whether you're playing on your clean courts or dusty courts, you're gonna have a really good bite. I will say that on the dustier courts, your bite might be slightly not as hard, but even through dust, you know, I really had zero issues with this traction, which is awesome. But I mean, yeah, traction was really good. As far as outdoor use goes, you know, I'm not sure about the durability. I wouldn't say that this is like the toughest rubber, at least like in certain areas. So I'm not sure if it'll last outdoors, but I'm sure in terms of the performance, it should be pretty good. So yeah, overall traction on the Giannis Immortality 3 was very good. So moving on to the cushion, the Giannis Immortality 3 features I believe a full-length Renew midsole. At least that's what it says on the back. You know, it says Nike Renew. On Nike's website, it doesn't really state, you know, what the actual foam is. So I'm just gonna guess it is full-length Renew, and it's pretty firm, honestly. You do get a little bit of compression in the heel, so you get a little bit of impact protection, but I wouldn't say very much. And then in the forefoot, you do have this pretty dead, you know, cushion setup. So I will say that this is a very responsive shoe, and if that's something that you want, then you will really like this. But if you do want, you know, balance and impact protection, this is just not it. This is definitely a more firm cushion setup. So if you want to feel really quick and responsive, you'll definitely like these, but if not, you probably won't like the cushion setup. But for me, you know, yeah, I mean, even though it is responsive and I do like feeling that, you know, very responsive setup, it's a little too dead for me, and I wish it did feel a little bit better. So moving on to the materials, the Giannis Immortality 3 features a bunch of different materials. You basically get like a bunch of different textiles. You have like this textile upper in the toe box area with some fused overlays on the high wear areas for that added durability. As you move towards the midfoot, you do have like this open mesh kind of material, and as you move towards the heel, you do have like this foam backed neoprene material. On the tongue, you do have a standard mesh tongue. It's not, you know, the most padded, but I would still say that if you do like to crank down your laces, you won't really feel the laces digging into your foot. But yeah, I mean, overall from a material standpoint, obviously for the price point, you know, it is not the most premium feeling, but still not bad. And then in terms of the performance, it gets the job done very, very well. So yeah, I really cannot complain about the materials on the shoe. So yeah, I mean, materials are good. So moving on to the fit, the Giannis Immortality 3 does run a little bit narrow in my opinion. It is a little bit narrow up in the forefoot area, I would say. So as a slightly wide footer, I did have a little bit of pressure up here. So if you do have slightly wide feet or wide feet, you might want to go up a half size. For everyone else, I think going true to size is the best bet for you all. You know, I don't think you'll have any issues width-wise or lengthwise. For me, the fit, even though it was a little bit narrow, was still pretty good. I would say there is maybe just a slight bit of dead space up in the toe box area, but outside of that, you know, everywhere else is very snug. This is a half booty upper. So you do feel very, very contained in the shoe, and it feels almost one-to-one. But yeah, so outside of the narrowness, the fit is good. Just watch out if you do have wider feet. So moving on to the support, I had absolutely zero issues with the support in the shoe. You do have an internal heel counter, and even though this heel isn't the most sculpted, it's kind of straight up. It doesn't have any like heel padding either, but I really didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe, which is awesome. As far as side-to-side movement on the footbed goes, I did have a very, very slight kind of feeling of sliding off the footbed, but it was very, very minimal. I wouldn't say it's like a deal breaker or anything. As far as the lateral movements go, this is a very wide base, and this midsole does protrude out to form an outrigger, so you're going to be covered on those lateral movements. And then in terms of that torsional rigidity and stability, I'm not sure if there's a shank plate in here or not, but I would say this is still fairly stiff and rigid, so if you need that, this has got you covered. So yeah, I mean, really the only support issue for me is like that very minimal kind of sliding off the footbed feeling that really only happens when I'm putting a lot of torque into that movement. But like I said, it is still very minimal. So yeah, I mean, overall support is good. It's really just that very minimal side-to-side movement on the footbed that was a very, very minor issue. So the Giannis Immortality 3 retails for 90 bucks, and you know, that was a while ago. You probably get some pairs on sale now for even cheaper, maybe even half the price. And for that amount of money, even for 90 bucks, this is a solid pickup. This is a great balling on a budget type of shoe, and if you can get it even cheaper, I would say go for it. I really don't think you can go wrong with this. Just be careful, like I said, you know, if you do have wider feet, because this is a narrow shoe. I mean, but yeah, if you all wanted to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, please hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment. It really does help me out. While you're at it, check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.